Hello, welcome to the Blissful Warrior. This is our midday yoga and mindfulness session for breathing, for stretching, for soothing in the middle of the day every day, as is our practice. Yoga is a wonderful practice, and if you don't have a yoga practice, it's not a worry. We are here to walk you through this very gentle, very soothing practice. And we can all use a lot more soothing these days. In fact, I named this practice Blissful Warrior because I do want you to be a warrior. I want to be a warrior, but only about one thing, about my ability to stay centered and calm and blissful, if possible, in the midst of the many, many changes that we are going through, facing, looking out ahead on the horizon. Is it possible to stay balanced and to stay calm in the face of such upheaval? I hope so, and that's what we are going to practice here and find out. So I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I am the owner of Riverflow Yoga. I'm going to settle down a little bit here. I'm the owner of Riverflow Yoga. Riverflow is a yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey. So we do have a physical location. Like many other studios, our physical location has been closed since March. And at that very same time, we began offering our yoga classes right here on our Facebook page live. And of course, they're saved on our Facebook page. So you can join us live, and I recommend that you do as a daily midday practice. Middle of the day, to me, is the perfect opportunity to sort of pull in a little bit, right? Regain your sense of foundational grounding. Regain that sense of having your feet under you and feeling steady where you are. And that's what we'll be doing here. We also offer hot yoga online. You can do hot yoga with us online. Find a space in your home and a little space heater to focus on you, and we will walk you through all of the poses if you'd like something that's a bit more of a challenge. You know, I've been practicing and teaching yoga for 45 years, and I find every form of yoga to be soothing and calming, even the challenging forms like hot yoga. But we always teach at our studio, our philosophy is to teach in a way that gives you soothing. We're not here to make you a champion yogi, if there is such a thing. We're here to make you a champion in your own life, which is about soothing and grounding and, finding your sense of stability no matter what. And there are a lot of whats these days. I think it's always been a bit of a challenge, or maybe even more than a bit, to find yourself in a place where you can calm yourself and really feel like yourself in the midst of all sorts of personal things that are going on. And now we have global situations that you have to sort of add to the pile of your own personal situations. And can you do it? Absolutely. It's more important now than ever that you do, for yourself and, of course, for all the people that you love, all the people that you'd like to set an example for. If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, if you're interacting in business, there are so many people that you have an opportunity to affect with your sense of grounding and your sense of calm. And just your presence gives them that wonderful feeling of certainty. Hello, Monica. It's lovely to see you again. Monica is one of the people who joins us quite frequently, and hello, Amber, as well. Thank you for bringing your friend. So, Monica, as you know, we're going to do breathing, we're going to do grounding, and then as we move into some stretching, as this practice is based on grounding, breathing, stretching, and soothing, if there are any physical parts of your body that ache today, if you happen to feel like your hips are tight or your shoulders ache, or maybe you didn't get enough sleep last night, you just have that foggy feeling, please feel free to type that in the comments, and I will make sure that I put in some stretches, some yoga poses that I find particularly helpful in those situations. So welcome, Amber. I'm glad that Monica brought you to the practice today. And hello, Elisa. Nice to see you as well. Okay, let's start this practice by making sure that you have some water in front of you. See, today I remembered to say get water before I settled you down in a nice seated position. So grab some water. We're going to do these really soothing things that will help you to feel like you're right here in your body, present. So grab some water. Let's take a few sips of water. My water drinking always looks a little more like chugging water. I'm used to drinking a lot of water. I say this a lot, and I say it as a suggestion that you might like to try. There are no hard and fast rules here in this Blissful Warrior practice, and the very last thing that I want you to feel at any point is that you are doing it wrong. If you are here and you have the intention to soothe yourself and calm yourself and ground yourself, then you're already right. But what I do with water is half my body weight in ounces of water every day. And I have noticed a tremendous difference in some superficial things like, the texture of my hair got different. The strength of my nails seemed to improve. But just generally speaking, more water is more soothing. So if you have some beside you and you'd like to join me in another sip, go ahead. And everything that we do here, I'd like you to stop and just notice how you feel after doing it. In fact, as we arrive in this practice, I'd like you to just mentally give yourself a number on a scale of 1 to 10 on how you're feeling right now generally. Let's say 1 is very chill, very relaxed and calm, and 10 is very, very agitated. Something got your goat this morning. Something you read on Facebook frustrated or angered you, and you're inching towards 10 in some way. So where do you think you are right now? I'm going to give myself a 5, sort of that middle ground. Again, no wrong answers. This is all about being aware of where your starting ground is, and wherever you start is appropriate for you. No wrong answers. Okay, now let's settle. Arriving in this practice, have a seat. Try sitting on the floor if you'd like. Place a cushion under you. Sit to the far front edge of the cushion and feel your hips and your knees just sort of tilt downwards a little bit. That's always so relaxing to me. Find a place for your hands to settle. Palms on the knees is nice. Backs of the hands on the knees can be nice. Palms in your lap, palms facing up, can also be nice. If you would rather sit in a chair than sit on the floor, remember, there are not going to be any gold stars or rewards for doing something that's a struggle. So if sitting on the floor just doesn't feel right for you today, sit in a chair. Choose a chair with a back. Go ahead and lean back if that feels good to you. See if you can place feet on the ground. This has a really magical quality, magical but scientific. If you place both feet on the ground, you would tend to settle your nervous system. You know that part of your physical anatomy that sort of goes awry? All those nerve endings firing in all sorts of different directions, especially when you're upset or agitated? Well, if you place both feet on the ground, that nervous system has a chance to calm, just like this. Let's see if I have my little... Okay, I don't. But what I have is a glitter wand. And if you shake up a glitter wand and you notice, oh, here it is. This is what happens when your nervous system gets agitated, firing in all directions. This one looks rather beautiful, but inside of you it might feel more chaotic than beautiful. And yet notice that if I don't do anything further to shake this up, if I actually give it a ground to settle on, then all that agitation will just naturally settle on its own. And this is what happens when you place both feet on the ground. This is what will happen in your nervous system. You breathe deeply, you don't introduce any more agitation, and you allow your nervous system to find its own feet, to find its place of feeling grounded, and then you begin to feel the effects of the calm. So I love to mention this because I know so many people end up sitting in front of a computer for the great bulk of their day, either in a Zoom meeting or in front of some information that you are in charge of reading or writing. Go ahead and place both feet on the ground when you're sitting in a chair and give your nervous system that opportunity to have that beautiful grounding. If you'd rather lie down, if you have the luxury right now of being able to just stop what you're doing and lie down, please do. Lie on your back, let your arms come to your sides, far from your body with your palms facing up. Your heels are touching as your legs are straight out, your heels are touching and your toes are flopped apart, and you get that same release in your hips and knees as you get when you're sitting on the cushion. far to the front edge of it. Really nice release. Just allow yourself to sort of sink into this open feeling. All right, so you've settled to a certain extent, to whatever extent is possible for you right now. You've done the first part of this Blissful Warrior practice. You've arrived and settled. Now we're going to move into the second part, which is breathing. I love to mention this, and I know you guys all know this, of course, but you're breathing anyway. You're breathing all the time. If you learn to focus your breath and be deliberate about it, there's so much more benefit you can get from breathing than simply keeping you alive. You can get calming and grounding and tremendous health benefits from breathing in a way that's very deliberate. So we're going to focus on that right now. And the way that we focus on this breathing also gives you an experience of mindfulness. So mindfulness is another word for being able to bring your entire focus into some beautiful details that keep your nervous system from doing this. Right? As you focus, your nervous system also begins to collect in one place and settle down. And again, what you feel are the effects of feeling calmer, feeling more grounded, feeling more stable. And isn't that a beautiful way to go into the rest of your day? So, having chosen your place of arrival, your posture of arrival, we will be breathing in and out through the nose. Now, your mouth will be closed. You'll be hearing the breath, though, in the back of your throat. So instead of a sniffing sound in your nose, you're going to hear a Darth Vader sound at the pit of your throat. Or some people like to think of it as an ocean sound, right? The waves of the ocean, or the sound inside a seashell. You all know that roaring sound. So that's the sound that you're going to focus on as you inhale and exhale. And I will talk you through this. Nothing you have to memorize, nothing you have to know in advance. Just relax and allow yourself to be guided. And notice how you feel. All right, so you're in your arrival posture. Keep your eyes focused in front of you. If you are sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, look at something in front of you and drop your chin just a little so you feel as if you're looking out the tops of your eyes more than the centers of your eyes, which will sort of make you thrust your chin, right? Looking out the centers, we all do this. This is a stress habit that we have, thrusting with the chin, and you can imagine the kind of havoc it wreaks on your neck. And a lot of people do complain about having sore necks. And so we're going to just relax that a little bit, keeping your eyes focused, chin down a little bit. Now imagine that in this position, somebody places two fingers right here on your chin, and they're going to move just your head. So your head sort of backs up a little bit onto the top of your neck. If you're lying on the ground, you get the same benefit by looking down the center of your body rather than at the ceiling. All right, having your head on top of your neck is a beautiful anatomical adjustment. And let's begin breathing. Inhale. Hearing that breath in the back of your throat, pull your collarbones wide so you're going to feel this gentle but really strong sense of pulling from collarbone to collarbone. Feel your ribs inflate, feel your belly inflate, and hold here. Now exhale. Hear it in the back of your throat, keeping the collarbones wide. Let the ribs start to sort of press together towards the center line of your body. Let your belly deflate and drop your tailbone straight down, and then tuck it slightly up towards your navel. Do you sense how that last little tuck lifts your chest a little more? And notice the emotional quality that you have, the emotional feeling that you get from that little lift. Inhale. Collarbones wide, ribs expand, belly inflates. Exhale. Collarbones wide, chin down, rib cage starts to compress a little bit. Your belly deflates. Let your tailbone point straight down and then up just a little towards the navel. Now notice you can stay empty as I give all these instructions. Inhale. Collarbones wide, rib cage expands, feeling yourself fill up in the belly. Holding here in this nice full position. Exhale. Let yourself stay empty. Let your belly continue to deflate, and then dropping your tailbone down and tuck it up. Just take a moment right now after 3 breaths, and on that scale of 1 to 10, what number would you give yourself right now? I'm going to say 3. It's magic, isn't it? And yet it's not magic. It's completely normal for you to feel so much different, so much difference when you can focus on your breathing. The very thing that sustains your life also enhances your sense of life. Let's take 3 more. Inhale. Keep pulling on your collarbones. You might notice with some surprise how much your shoulders hunch in when you're not pulling on the collarbones, and now you have a chance to really expand that and open up. And exhale. Hearing that loud ha sound in your throat, rib cage starts to press inward, belly deflates, tailbone drops down, and let it tuck up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Keep exhaling. There's always so much more that you can push out, and how beautifully relaxing it feels when you do. And inhale. Sip a little more breath in. Even if you feel like you're at the top of where your lungs can go, there's always more. Exhale. Tailbone dropped, tailbone undulating a little towards your navel, feeling yourself adjust back here into stillness. And now again, just noticing how you feel. You know, if you had to give yourself an adjective right now rather than a number, what might it be? I would say present. I feel like I'm absolutely here. Beautiful. So right away in the first 15 minutes of this practice, you have affected a great change in your nervous system. You have lowered your stress levels. You have contributed to the health of your body and your mind in 15 minutes. This is how you're built. This is your birthright. You have these faculties that are not just about keeping you alive. They're about giving life to you. So we'll move now into some stretching. Now, everything we do here in the Blissful Warrior practice is about soothing yourself into feeling like yourself again. And so you've arrived, you've had some water, you've done some breathing. Anytime that's the limit of what you're able to do today, you can feel good about that. If you'd like to stay and move now into stretching, I always like to promise new people that we're not going to do any contortionist type of yoga poses here, and we don't expect you to know, I don't expect you to know these poses, and you are certainly not here about perfecting anything. Yoga is called a practice. Blissful Warrior is a practice. You are practicing bringing yourself back to being yourself so that you can then go out into your life as yourself. So again, there are no gold stars for getting these poses perfect. There's just the joy of the feeling in the moment. and that just is plenty. So we're going to do some lying down poses today. If you are already lying down on your back, then you've arrived. If you are sitting in a chair and you can bring yourself down to a seated position with us right here on the floor, please do. And if you are sitting on a cushion, let's bring that cushion out from under you right now. Good time to take another sip of water, by the way. There is no bad time to take a sip of water, but let's do that now as we move into the next phase of this Blissful Warrior practice. All right, we'll be lying on our backs, and I will just adjust my camera for a moment as you adjust yourself to the floor. So easing yourself down onto your back. Great. Arms are at your sides. And notice how you can slide your arms further and further away from your body, and you reach that place where it feels just right. Try not to second guess it. Whenever it feels just right to you, trust it. Palms facing up. Heels are touching. Let your toes relax to the side so your feet sort of flop out. Pull your collarbones wide so you can feel your shoulder blades on the mat, and shift your gaze down the center of your body. If you're looking at the ceiling right now, it's really easy to just shift your gaze downward a little bit. And as you do so, you can feel the relief in your neck. So these movements that we do, you are going to feel physical soothing, physical relief. But every yoga pose also has a soothing component for your nervous system. This is why we say that we know that yoga is not just exercise. There is an entire mind, body, emotional component and benefit to every movement. So in this position, breathe. Inhale, collarbones wide. Hear it in the back of your throat. Expand your rib cage, balloon your belly, keep your collarbones pulled wide, let your hands be totally relaxed, looking down the center of your body. And now exhale. Hearing it in the back of your throat, collarbones stay wide, rib cage starts coming closer in towards the center line, deflate your belly, and feel as if someone has slipped their hand right under the small of your back and you're dropping into it. Inhale. Collarbones wide, chin down. Nice little adjustments. Settling in. Exhale. Keep the collarbones wide. Feel the ribs sort of getting pressed in towards the center. And drop your lower back into that supportive, waiting hand. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Drop your lower back. Feel the relief of that. And for a moment, stay here without breath. Take the next breath for a moment or two. Feel how light you feel. That sense of lightness, that's the feeling of your nervous system calming. All right, now let's go into some movement with this calmed nervous system and relaxed body. Inhale, bend your right knee. Place the sole of your right foot on the ground. Bring your arms in close to your body and begin to pull with all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Feel your shoulders stretch. Tuck your chin more. Bend your right knee to your chest. Bend your elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the right knee. Keep your elbows hugging your waist. Relax your outstretched leg completely. Inhale, tuck your chin. Bring your elbows to hug your waist. And as you exhale, bring the right knee towards the right armpit. keep your elbows in your waist. Tuck your chin towards your throat. Keep your outstretched leg completely relaxed. And notice the sensations that you feel without any judgment. Notice the pinch in your right hip. You are cutting the blood supply off here for a moment in something called the tourniquet effect. Notice the stretch you feel deep in your left hip as you relax your left leg more and more. This pose is extremely beneficial for opening the hips, giving fresh, rich, oxygenated blood to the hips, and massaging your digestive system. On the right side, it's your ascending colon. Inhale, elbows in your waist, chin down, and exhale, tightening the webbing of fingers and guiding the right knee towards the right armpit. Bypass the rib cage a little and bring the right knee to the right armpit, feeling an intense, satisfying stretch. And release. Sole of the foot on the ground, arms at your sides, and slide your right leg out. Feel the sensation in your arms especially. Can you feel that warmth, that light sort of gentle tingling? That's the nervous system calming. As you inhale, bend the left leg. Place the sole of the foot on the ground beside the right knee. Bring your arms in close once again and pull with all 10 fingertips. Feeling that, we're taking a moment to just feel this delicious stretch of the arms and shoulders. And then bend your elbow tips. Clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the left knee. Try to get the thumbs in this clasp as well. And tuck your chin to your throat. Inhale, elbows down towards your hips and in towards your waist. And exhale, guiding the left knee towards the left armpit. Now really relax your outstretched right leg. Let your right toes point to the right a little bit, giving this beautiful opportunity for you to get a deep stretch, deep in the right hip and groin as you pinch off the left hip, right down where you can feel that little bit of an ache. So you're doing that tourniquet effect now in the left hip as you stretch the right. And this pose massages your descending colon as you move that knee into the armpit. Inhale, see if you can settle the elbows in the waist again. Tuck your chin, and as you exhale, guiding the left knee towards the left armpit. No struggling, keep your shoulders down, tucking your chin. You're easing yourself into this calmed state. No way to struggle or force or push yourself into a feeling of freedom and openness in your body and relaxation in your nervous system. You are practicing ease and noticing how much further you can go when you are in this state of calm. This is true for your body, and it's true for the interactions you have with others in your life as well. And then change. Sole of the foot to the ground, arms at your side, slide your leg out. Take a moment here with the heels touching, toes flopped apart, palms facing up, arms are far from your body. Breathe. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your legs together. Bend both knees and place the soles of both feet on the ground, and immediately start inching your heels closer to your butt. So you can feel yourself creating some traction in your spine. Very satisfying feeling. Squeeze your legs together. And as you exhale, just drop your lower back again. Feel that hand waiting to hold you at the small of your back. Tuck your chin. Inhale. Bring your arms in close once again. Pulling with all 10 fingertips. Tucking your chin. Squeezing your 2 legs together. And then coming up on your toes, bring your knees to your chest. Bend your elbow tips and wrap your arms around your knees and grab what's easily available. Could be fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms. Tuck your chin. Inhale, collarbones wide, chin down. Exhale, use your arms to squeeze your 2 legs together. Use your arms to draw your knees to your chest, tuck your chin to your throat, and then start pressing outward from your knees maybe into the crooks of your elbows if you're holding at the elbow tips, and feel your back flatten. So this amazing pose pinches off both hips so you get that fresh rush of oxygenated blood in the hips. Also flattens and elongates your spine, tucking your chin more and more. Inhale, collarbones wide, chin down. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, draw the knees to your chest, tuck your chin towards your throat, and begin to move your knees outward into the crooks of your elbows. Just staying here and feeling the stretch. Stretching feels like a release. It feels like freedom. It's emotionally soothing. It's physically invigorating. And then change. As you inhale, let your arms fall to your sides and keep your knees bent to your chest. And again, focus on this beautiful sensation in your arms. Inhale. And as you exhale, place the soles of your feet to the ground and let your feet come 6 inches apart, parallel feet. Exhale and drop your lower back. It's always so interesting to notice that when you're asked to drop your lower back, that's when you notice it was sort of contracted. Great mindfulness. As you inhale, turn your palms to the ground and slide your arms in. Bring your arms under your body with your hips on your wrists. And maybe if you can inch your heels in closer, you can grab your ankles with your hands. If you can't, no worries. Keep your palms down on the ground. And as you inhale again, squeeze your shoulder blades together under you. And as you exhale, slowly begin to tighten your thighs, point your knees forward, and let your hips be lifted. So notice that you're not focusing on lifting your hips. You're focusing on everything else that lets the hips be supported. Tuck your chin, looking down the middle of your body. Now as you exhale, relax your quads. Bring your knees back to pointing towards the ceiling and allowing your hips to be lowered 1 vertebra at a time. Every vertebra coming down until finally your lower back relaxes. Tuck your chin. Inhale. Tuck your chin. Begin to tighten your quads. Point your knees forward towards the wall in front of you. And feeling your hips be lifted. Keep your collarbones wide. Keep your shoulder blades squeezing together onto your body. You're not going to hyperextend the hips. You're just keeping the quads nice and tight and the knees pulling forward, and you'll get to that place where it's just the perfect amount. Try not to second guess it. You're fine where you are. And as you exhale, relax the quads. Bring the knees back to pointing towards the ceiling as you lower down 1 vertebra at a time. And last is your lower back. Let it drop. As you inhale, squeeze the collarbones of the shoulder blades together. Pull the collarbones wide. Tighten the quads. Point the knees forward. Letting the hips float up. Tucking your chin. You're looking down the middle of your body. Maybe you can see your thighs or your knees. And then exhale and lower. Nice and slow. Bringing your knees back to pointing towards the ceiling. Allowing your hips to settle. And then your lower back. When you're all the way down, relax your arms, bring them out from under you, slide your legs, heels touch, toes flopped apart, and here you are again in Shavasana. This beautiful pose of checking in, recomposing yourself, noticing really how wonderful you can feel. Inhale. Inhale, bring your legs together. begin to point your big toes towards the wall in front of you. Rotate your knees in a little bit so you can really feel the squeeze of your legs. Turn your palms to the ground and bring your arms out in a T position. And begin inching your fingertips. So notice again your natural human traction, your ability to stretch with everything that you already have inside of you. Pointing your toes, inching your fingers, tucking your chin, pulling your collarbones nice and wide. And as you exhale, keep the pointing of the toes and the pulling of the fingers, but drop your lower back. As you inhale again, bend both knees. Place the soles of your feet on the ground and begin to walk in a little, inching, inching, inching in. Squeeze the legs tight. Feel this beautiful pull on your back as you bring your knees to your chest. As you exhale, squeeze your legs tight and drop both knees high under the right armpit. It doesn't matter where they land. This is where you're aiming. Maybe they come to the ground, maybe they don't. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat. Keep your head at center. And whenever the knees stop, you're just going to relax and trust that gravity will take them the rest of the way eventually. And for now, it's fine where it is. Breathe. Inhale. And as you exhale, pull your collarbones wide. Drop your tailbone as if you're pointing it towards that wall in front of you, and then tuck it slightly up towards your navel. Feel these beautiful little movements, how much they release inside your body and even in your sense of relaxation. Inhale, squeeze your legs together, bring your knees back to center. At center, squeeze your legs in tight and draw the knees in close, tuck your chin, and as you exhale, squeezing the legs tight, relax your feet and aiming the knees under the left armpit. Play this little game with yourself. Can you keep both shoulder blades on the mat as those knees come down to the left? And once you're, again, all the way down or as far down as your knees are going to go today, just relax and know that there is some pull that will take you the rest of the way if you relax and allow it. Inhale. Exhale. Let your tailbone point to the wall in front of you and then tuck it up towards your navel. Inhale, squeeze your legs together, bring them back to center. And then here at center, slide your arms back close to your body. Palms are facing down. Bring your arms under your body. So now your hips are on your wrists or maybe even above your wrists. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your knees in close to your chest. Collarbones wide. As you exhale, begin to flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Flexing the toes towards your face. Looking at your knees. Inhale, flex the heels, flex the toes, squeeze your legs together tight. And as you exhale, begin to move your heels towards the ceiling, feeling like the soles of your feet are going to hold the ceiling up. Keep squeezing the legs together, flex the heels, flex the toes towards your face. And eventually the soles of your feet are holding the ceiling up. And maybe your knees are bent or maybe your legs are straight. Doesn't matter. Relax here. This is such a beautiful opportunity to get this anti-gravity, this little bit of an inversion, draining the blood flow from your legs into your hips while still pumping blood flow into your legs by pulling from your heels, flexing your heels up and toes towards your face. And keep your knees turned in towards each other. Keep your collarbones pulled wide. As you inhale, flex your heels towards the ceiling. Flex the toes towards the face. Now, if you have bad hamstrings, right, anything that hurts, it's okay to keep your knees bent. And as you exhale, exhale, pulling from your heels again, begin to lower both legs. Imagine that you're being held by ropes from the ceiling around your ankles, and those ropes are lowering you down. Your job is simply to pull from the heels, pull from the collarbones, tuck your chin and breathe as these ropes lower you. So inhale, flex your heels forward, flex the toes towards the face, widen the collarbones, tuck your chin. Exhale, float down, going along for this beautiful, relaxing, calming to your nervous system ride. When your heels finally touch down, lift your hips lightly and roll your arms out from under you. And back to Shavasana. Slide your arms, palms facing up, heels lightly touching, toes flopped apart, collarbones wide, chin tucked. Inhale. And exhale. Drop that lower back. Oh, see, I just noticed my lower back was held nice and lifted. And dropping it always feels good. Doing these little adjustments just feels like returning to your sense of calm, which begins to feel more and more familiar, more and more natural. It is your birthright. Okay, if you have no back issues, we're going to try a yoga sit-up. Inhale, arms overhead. Flex your heels, flex the toes towards your face, tuck your chin towards your throat, pull with your fingertips and really feel yourself lengthening at your waist. Inhale more, hold your breath and sit up. Reach for the ceiling. Grab your big toes. Bend your elbows and double jerk, double exhale through your mouth. Shh, and hang, chin to throat, forehead to knees. Elbows bent beside your calves. Beautiful. And let's turn around for a little spinal twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. Hang on, bear with me one moment, guys. I am plugging in. So again, just take a moment to sit here and breathe. You know, we have this habit of feeling like if we're not doing something, then we're not being productive. We're not making any headway. We're not doing anything valuable. But if you really give yourself permission to sit here and breathe, you'll notice the extreme changes that you feel, not only in your body, but in your emotional state. Imagine how much more effective you can be coming from this place of being grounded, having this presence. And even if you're not out in the world being effective in large groups, isn't it enough for you to enjoy living in your own body and having a life that feels good to you? Take a breath. You deserve it. Inhale. Spinal twist is next. So, bending your left knee so it points forward, and if at any point bending of the knees causes pain. Now there's a difference between ache and pain. Sometimes when things are stretching, you feel a little ache. That's all right. But if you feel pain, and you will know the difference, then no need to move into pain at all. Just keep your legs straight out in front of you. Bring your right leg up and over. So now your right heel is against your left knee corner. Moving this heel out from under you, you want to settle both hips. So can you feel the stability here of both hips on the ground? Wiggle around a little bit. Get into this feeling of stability. It's a good feeling. Bring your right arm behind you, your left arm up by your as you lift up out of your waist. Keep both arms locked as you lift up a little bit more. And then bend your elbow, come down around the outside of your knee, and with your elbow, push that knee away. And with your hand, reach down. If you're sitting on a yoga mat, you can grab the edge of it. If you're not, you place your fingertips on the ground and lock your arm. And if you can slip your hand under your bent knee. Just don't bring the knee up to place it in the palm. Now, inhale, lift your breastbone. Pull your collarbones. Feel your right shoulder start to disappear behind you. Drop your chin. And as you exhale, stay grounded on both hips and just begin to twist and look over your right shoulder. Move your waist. Move your ribs. Drop your chin and look beyond your right shoulder. Keep your right shoulder moving behind you and then look beyond your shoulder and twist and twist. Twist. And then release. Come back to center for a moment and just sit here at center. Take a breath. You know, I promise you, as you begin to become more accustomed to feeling relaxed, you're going to recognize yourself again. Let's alternate the legs. So bending the right knee, noticing if it causes you any pain, then you keep that right leg straight out in front of you. Left leg up and over, the left heel touches the right knee corner. Make sure that both hips are settled, even if you might have to pull this heel out from under. Go ahead and settle yourself down. Feel grounded. Left arm behind you, right arm up. Reach. Keep both arms locked as you stretch up out of your waist. Keep both hips down as you lift up more. And then bend the elbow and coming down around the outside of the knee. Use the elbow to push the knee up. And notice how when the knee gets pushed, the knee and the ankle form more of a straight line. Bring your hand down, grabbing your mat, placing your fingertips, or hugging your knee. As you inhale, lift your chest. Collarbones wide, drop your chin, suck your stomach in. And as you exhale, drop your chin and twist. And twist. Keep your hips down as you move your waist. Keep both hips grounded as you move your ribs. Pull your collarbones wide, drop your chin, and look beyond your left shoulder. Twist, twist, twist. And release. Back to center again. And take a breath right here. Inhale. And exhale. Let's try a pose called cow face. Now, again, some of these poses are going to look challenging. You do not have to go deeply into any of these poses. In fact, forcing yourself into poses will just upset your nervous system. That's not what we're doing here. We're using the body to soothe the nervous system. So follow these instructions to the best of your ability and don't worry about what you can't do. It's not a contest. This is for you to find your center, to soothe yourself. And using the body to do it can be just a lot of fun. So let's try knee on top of knee. So you're doing this sort of little bit of a twist and the knee on top of knee, sitting on both hips. Bring your right arm up by your ear and lift. Bring your left arm behind your back. Bend your elbow and see if you can reach your fingertips. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It doesn't matter. If you're wearing a shirt, you can even hold your shirt. And as you inhale, imagining getting your elbow tip to center behind your head. Stretch. And as you exhale, drop your tailbone, settling into your hips, and then tuck your tailbone slightly under. And then change. So now we're going to alternate the legs. Again, it's knee on top of knee. Both hips are settled. Sit right here. And as you inhale, bring your left arm up by your ear and stretch. Both hips are down and you're lifting out of your waist. Bring your right arm behind your back. bend your elbow tip. Maybe I should show you this from the back. Bend your elbow tip and see, sometimes you can reach your fingers and sometimes you can't. You can hold your shirt. And as you inhale, pull elbow tip behind your head. As you exhale, keep pulling. Settle back into your hips. Drop your tailbone down and tuck it up a little bit towards your navel. Keep your chest open and then release. And coming back to center again. Now bring both legs out in front of you. Flex your heels forward, flex your toes towards your face, place your palms on your shins, lock your elbows, drop your chin. Bring your head back a little bit so it's on top of your neck. Keep your eyes focused on something in front of you, out of the tops of your eyes, collarbones wide. Just sitting here in stillness. As you flex your heels forward and the toes towards your face, you're going to feel nice and stable. And if you have injured hamstrings, you can do this with your knees bent. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Now as you exhale, tuck your chin, keeping your arms locked, slide back a little bit, letting your palms come over your knees, over your thighs. Keep your heels flexing forward and you are bringing yourself down to the ground, one vertebra at a time, in this beautiful final Shavasana pose. Arms at your sides, palms facing up, heels are touching and toes flopped apart. And you stay right here in Shavasana. I'm going to come up into a seated position and give you a little bit of a beautiful ending guided relaxation. So arms at your sides and palms facing up. Heels lightly touching, toes flopped apart. Collarbones pulled wide. So can you feel your shoulder blades come to the mat when you pull your collarbones wide? I want you to notice you don't need any props to do this. You have everything you need inside of you to feel really good in your body and in that beautiful sense of stretching and aligning. Your nervous system calms. And you are doing this all for yourself and pretty much by yourself. We're just practicing together. And what you're practicing here is feeling good, general well-being. You are affecting your health. You are relieving your stress. You are strengthening your nervous system. These are all of the faculties that you need in order to feel like yourself as you move out into these uncertain times. Well, even when we had more certainty in our lives, having this practice of feeling like yourself is really a practice of enjoying your life, not waiting for outside conditions to change in order for you to get some enjoyment and happiness, to get the most enjoyment and happiness that you can out of life, but actually being able to manage your own level of blissful warrior. So right here, right now, lying on your back, arms at your sides, palms facing up, heels lightly touching, toes flopped apart, collarbones wide, shoulder blades on the mat, tucking your chin, looking down the middle of your body. Let's breathe again. Inhale, hear it in the back of your throat, that big, beautiful ha sound. Feel your collarbones pull wider, your ribs expand, your belly balloon out. Exhale. Again, hearing it in the back of your throat, keeping your collarbones wide, allowing your rib cage to come towards the center line of your body, deflate your belly, drop your lower back. Feel that imaginary hand waiting to hold you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. notice how you feel. What adjectives might you use to describe yourself right now? And on that emotional scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very chill and 10 being really agitated, might you give yourself a number? I would say 2. And I started at 5. You have complete control over these conditions, the ones inside your body and inside your own nervous system. It's just a matter of practice. And that's what we do here every day, in the middle of the day. Such a wonderful, pivotal time, the middle of the day. Your morning might have gotten away from you. It might have gotten the better of you. But there's still the rest of the day ahead of you. And right here, you have a chance to pivot from whatever agitation the morning might have put you in to whatever the rest of your day is going to be, with you managing your feelings, your emotional state, your stress levels. We like to say that outside conditions are causing us great stress. And certainly there are stressful things going on. But internal conditions, this is where your stress really resides. And notice that in the hour that we've been together, even if you were here for the first part or the last part, notice your tremendous power to be able to completely control the conditions of your body, the conditions of your nervous system, the way you are going to react to any kinds of stress that you might face for the rest of the day, and this delightful feeling that maybe, just maybe, you are in complete control of your reactions. And that's what it is to be a blissful warrior. So thank you for joining me in this practice today. Hang on one moment. I'd like to keep this beautiful meditation music going at the end. This is the practice, my friends, the blissful warrior. That's what you are. Certainly these days ahead are going to call upon you to be a warrior about many things. But I invite you to notice that being a blissful warrior, being adamant about being in control of your own actions and reactions, of your own nervous system, your stress level, these are the really important things to be a warrior about. And this is how you begin. I'm here every day in practice. I'm Rhonda Uretsky, the owner of River Flow Yoga. This is the Blissful Warrior Practice. Thank you for joining me today. Go out into the rest of your day. Feel sane, feel safe, and feel certain that you can do this. And I will see you here again soon.